What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video, or welcome here if you are new. In this video, I am going to be preparing my baby's room before my baby was born. I did have one of my subscribers ask if I can do a video where I talk about pregnancy and all of that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is actually do a 3-part video. This is part 1, where I'm going to talk about pregnancy during all the trimesters. Part 2 is going to be about labor and delivery, and part 3 will be about postpartum care. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure you subscribe so that you can see those videos when I upload them. Another disclaimer, I had really bad allergies, I want to say about for the past like 2 weeks. So that's why I kind of sound a little congested still. I'm much better, but please just keep in mind that if I sound a little crazy, that's because I'm getting over having really bad allergies. So there's that. So yes, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, the room is quite a mess. There is things all over the place, towels, blankets, baby clothes, like everything. So what ended up happening is my mother-in-law lived with me for a while. She moved in with me. And then after she moved out, we just kept putting everything in this room and not getting around to it. So that's why there's a bunch of mixed up stuff in this room that should not be in this room. So also you can see here, I was quite pregnant already. So I was just preparing the baby's room before the baby arrived so that we can have everything ready to go. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the pregnancy portion. So essentially, in your first trimester, oh, by the way, I am talking about my I'm talking between my first pregnancy and my second pregnancy, because between these 2 pregnancies, they were completely different. One was easy and seamless, while the other one was terrible. I don't want to say terrible, but it had a lot of complications. So I'm going to compare these 2 pregnancies for you. Now that I have multiple kids, I can kind of compare. So I'm a little seasoned in that sense, so I can talk to you guys and let you know what to expect. So first pregnancy, the first trimester was, very easy. Actually, I did not know I was pregnant. This pregnancy was not planned. So I found out when I was about, I want to say 4 months pregnant already. I was pretty skinny up until my second trimester. And I'm very naturally skinny, so I could not tell. I only realized because I started to feel kind of like sick. So with my first pregnancy, I had morning sickness. For some women, they get it only in the morning, or for some women, they get it throughout the day. Some women have it only in the first trimester, and then some women have it their entire pregnancy. So in my case, it was in the first pregnancy, only for the first trimester, but I had it all day long. So things like smelling food or cooking would make me nauseous, which kind of sucks because I am the cook in my family. So I just had to take it for the team. But yes, it is normal to experience this, and it's actually normal to experience it your entire pregnancy on and off. So that's something to keep in mind. In my second pregnancy, I had no morning sickness whatsoever. So those 2 were very different. So let's talk about the second trimester. So the second trimester is, you definitely have more energy. You don't feel as fatigued. So, and you also build up more of an appetite. So in my case, I was eating again. I wasn't nauseous. And this was the same amongst those 2 pregnancies. So I was eating again. I was moving around. And that's pretty normal. You're gonna have your energy is definitely gonna fluctuate. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. During your second pregnancy is definitely when you want to start thinking about where you want to give birth, like what hospital, and start coming up with like a checklist of everything that you will need for the baby. I am going to put in my description a list of everything that you will need so that you guys can kind of have an idea. So you may have some of these things, and then some of these things you probably are going to end up not even needing. So some people use things like high chairs and stuff like that. And then some people don't. Some people just feed their baby on the couch or something. So there's definitely, things that you can give or take, but I'll go ahead and leave like a list in my description for you guys so that you can look at the list if you are not sure what you should be asking for if you decide to do like a baby shower. I actually did not have a baby shower for either of these pregnancies. I just did a gender reveal and that was it. Everything else, we either got it ourselves or got it through somebody, but we definitely just kind of, did everything ourselves. We didn't ask for anything. So, but if you do have a lot of people that want to give you gifts, like family and friends, you should definitely do a baby shower. You can never run out of things like wipes, diapers. Yes, like you may have too many of it. But if you do plan on having more kids, then you can hold on to those diapers for the next pregnancy. So definitely start considering all these things during your second trimester. Planning for these things. Are you doing a gender reveal? Are you doing a baby shower? Where are you going to give birth? Do you want to be induced? Do you want to try to have the baby naturally? Do you want epidural? Consider all of these things. So you give yourself time to plan out what you're going to do. So in the third trimester, this is definitely where things start to change. Like in my case, I worked through my first pregnancy, but in my second pregnancy, I was on bed rest. So I was no longer working at this point, and I actually couldn't. I had to lay down. I had to take it easy because the second pregnancy, I had complications. So, but the first pregnancy was fine to work through. If your doctor says that you should still work or that you can still work, then by all means, if you feel good enough to, then, take advantage and work. But if your doctor tells you not to, definitely listen to your doctor. Also in the third trimester, things that changed was like pelvic girdle pain. I definitely had pain in the pelvis. My first baby was 5 pounds 6 ounces, but my second baby was almost 8 pounds. So yeah, there's a huge difference. And there's times like in between pregnancies, you may have your first baby was really heavy, but your second baby was not. And then the third baby could be like anywhere. So you never really know. So that's something to just keep in mind. I definitely started packing on most of my weight in the third trimester. I had things like, I definitely had swelling, like in my ankles for the second baby, but in the first pregnancy, I didn't have swelling at all until after I gave birth. So what else? It's definitely normal to start producing milk early. You don't have to give birth for your milk to start wanting to come in. So I was an overproducer. I still have milk in my freezer from how much milk I produced. So there was a point where I just couldn't keep up with it and I had to pump it out, bag it, and freeze it. So yeah, so that's definitely something. I do believe most women either don't, I think it's like 78% of women don't produce enough milk, and then there's the few that produce too much, or I should say overproduce, where they can feed a bunch of kids if they really wanted to. And in my case, I was an overproducer. So by the time that I was in the third trimester, I was a D cup, which was a lot for me. So that's something also to remember. You can put on a lot of weight, and you put on weight everywhere, and your breasts do get swollen because you will have a lot of milk. Or not everybody, but some people can have a lot of milk, like myself. So that's something to consider. Also start thinking about, like I said, if you want to do epidural or not. In my first pregnancy, I got epidural between both of my first two pregnancies, but with my first pregnancy it worked, and with my second it did not. So the epidural is just a needle that goes into your spine. It's actually a catheter, so it stays in your spine, so you don't have to like they're not taking it out or putting it back in unless it's not placed properly. And that is actually what happened in the second pregnancy for me. The anesthesiologist actually put it into a vein instead of my spine, and it shot up to my head. So they pushed the epidural and it went to my head. And I got very lightheaded, almost passed out, and that's a whole nother thing. So with the second pregnancy, the epidural did not take, and I felt every second of pain with that delivery. So if you are somebody that's like, oh, I'm going to try to do it naturally, I'm not sugarcoating it. It is the most painful thing I've experienced ever in my life. I have broken bones when I was younger. I did split my head open when I was younger. And I can honestly say that nothing amounts to the pain of delivering your child. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but just be aware of that. It is extremely, extremely painful. I did it by, I don't even know how, like the grace of God, I guess, but I did it. And you can definitely do it. But if you want to, kind of more enjoy the experience, you can definitely consider getting the epidural. They also have other things that you can use, like I think it's called like nitrous oxide. It's like a gas that you inhale. It's like laughing gas, and you breathe it in while you're pushing and with contractions, but you have to kind of breathe it a lot. So I didn't opt for this, but yes, you can definitely do that. And just keep in mind, if you do get epidural, you can definitely experience complications afterward. I didn't have complications with my first, but with my second, because the epidural was placed wrong, it damaged some nerves. So I have some numbness in my big toes now. I know that's such a weird thing, but yes, I get numb in my big toes because I had some nerve damage. So, consider that, because if you do end up getting the epidural, you can have nerve damage or back pain, like a sore back, for a while. For some people, it happens just for a little bit, and then some people, it lasts for years. So, just keep that in mind. I do have Irish twins. These kids are a year apart. I think I was about 3 months postpartum when I conceived my second. So definitely don't do what I did. Take your time. It is, I heard, much easier when you wait for your first child to be older so that child can take care of themselves. But if you have 2 kids back to back, it is definitely going to take a toll on your body, and the second child that you conceive may have a hard time because you were still healing from the first child. So consider that. I believe they want you to wait 18 months or so between pregnancies so that there's no complications. So yes, so that can also be a reason why I experienced some issues with the epidural, because I had an epidural not even a year ago, and then I had to get one again. So, my body was still healing, and, that's something that you should be mindful of, because you don't want to complicate things for your baby, or yourself, and then you're going to have a really, difficult recovery. So, keep that in mind. I don't know if I already mentioned, but I did have both of my kids vaginally. I did not get a C-section, but if that's something that you want, then you just need to schedule it. My first was naturally, I just went into labor naturally, but my second was induced. We had to evict that baby because that baby did not want to come out. So I was pregnant for the full 40 weeks with that baby. That's 10 months out of 12 months in a year. And between those 2 pregnancies, it was a total of 19 months pregnant. So yeah, you guys, if you are going to go through with conceiving, or, you and your spouse decided you want to have kids, or maybe you're just in this situation because it was an accident, definitely take care of yourself so that your baby can be taken care of too. Don't neglect yourself. Do your research. Look into hospitals and the way that you want to deliver and all that stuff early. Don't wait till the last minute to pack your bags. My first pregnancy, we were literally scrambling to pack the bag because we didn't have anything packed. Also, that pregnancy, or I should say that baby did come out early, 3.5 weeks early. So that also didn't help. But then in my second pregnancy, we had everything packed because that one was induced. So we had to schedule an induction, go to the hospital and have everything already packed. So it was a little bit different with that one. So yeah, you guys. So also, if you have any questions or anything that I did not answer, leave a comment and I can answer it in the comments. Or if you leave a comment in with enough time, then I can answer that question in my next video where I talk about labor and delivery. So if there's anything that I didn't touch on in this video, please let me know and I will gladly touch on the topic in the next video. But yeah, you guys, I'm trying to think of anything else that's kind of important regarding like preparing in your first couple trimesters. Okay, so something that I want to talk about really quick is regardless of your situation, maybe you are a single mom, maybe you're about to be a single dad, like maybe you guys are splitting up after you guys have this baby. Whether you're married, it doesn't matter your situation. This is the hardest job you will ever do. Whether you are mom or dad, it's the hardest thing that you will ever do. There's going to be times where you don't know what's wrong with the baby. Is it diaper rash? Is it hungry? Is it, tired? Like, you're not going to know all the answers as a parent, and you're going to learn that as you go. And it's okay to get frustrated, but the key thing to remember is patience. This is something that I never, ever, ever had. Anybody in my family will tell you that I am the least patient. But it's something that I had to learn, and I kind of learned it indirectly because your kids kind of teach you to grow patience, but or I should say to develop patience or develop patience that you never had. And that's what happened to me. But something to keep in mind is to be patient with your baby and with yourself. It can be very, very difficult. You're going to be sleep deprived. You're going to feel cranky, irritable, hungry. There's going to be times where you're like, oh my God, I don't get to just like chill for one moment. Like, it can get like that. It can get hectic. And if you have multiple kids, oh my gosh, like you don't even have time to just sit down like for 2 minutes. So keep in mind that this is not an easy journey, but it is the most rewarding. So watching your child grow from, an infant, a newborn, that you're going to see all of these stages of them just developing so fast and growing teeth and starting to smile back at you. And, their hair is getting longer. They're getting chunkier. They're getting taller. They're going to start turning over, start crawling, start standing, watching my first baby go through all of that. And it's amazing, you guys. Like, it's such an amazing experience. And my kids I thank God every day for them. They're so bright, so smart. And also, like every baby goes through their milestones at different stages. So, your baby may not start crawling at 6 months. They may start crawling at 10 months, and that's okay. That's completely normal. But every baby is different, and they all hit milestones differently. So like I said, you guys, it is so rewarding, but it's definitely something that you need to learn to be patient. Be patient with your baby. Be patient with yourself. You may not be able to get it all done in one day, and that's okay. Your house may be a mess, and that's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world, and that is something I really had to teach myself and give myself grace on, because I tend to be nitpicky about everything. So just keep that in mind, and also keep in mind that if you are dealing with this alone, whether you're with your spouse, whether you're alone, whatever it may be, you have yourself. At the end of the day, there's no better person that's got your back than yourself. And your baby is going to need you to be there, to be present, to give it 100, so that your baby can grow, survive, develop. And without you, there is no baby. So don't forget your importance, and don't forget, even if you're doing this by yourself, you're a single mom or you're a single dad, even if you're about to go through this all by yourself, there is no greater teacher in life than you for your baby. So just keep that in mind. Don't be so hard on yourself, you guys, and really learn to enjoy the process and just love your baby and be grateful and have gratitude every day. But yeah, with all that being said, keep in mind there's still going to be a part 2 for the labor and delivery video. So, well, labor and delivery question, like question and answer. So subscribe so that you can get notified when I do upload that video. I'm going to upload it soon. And like I said, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave in the comments below and I'll get back to you, or I'll answer it in my next video. And I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys around. Take care, guys.